Buddy, quick little live. Whoever, Katie, I am so sorry, man. I just saw those pictures. I was like, who got electrocuted? That looks painful. My- I heard myself speak, so I had to stop and mute. Welcome, everybody. I'm letting the people get in here because I just started early because I got some other stuff I have to do and whatnot. We won't be on for too long. So something came to my radar. Shout out to Sylvia, our channel supporter, who let me know that, like, she sends me this article, and I'm like, well, it was a YouTube link, and I'm hearing the reporter talk, and it's about Tim Busfield, and apparently Tim Busfield in the hearing, I guess there's like a 16-year-old victim too. This came out today. There is like a 16-year-old victim. So I'm like, am I going crazy or like what? And so, yeah, sure enough, for those that have not been following or like, what are you talking about? Okay. So Timothy Busfield, he is facing some charges out of New Mexico pertaining to 2 counts, to child SA and child abuse. Those are in New Mexico, 2 twin boys that were working on a set while he was directing The Cleaning Lady. That's the name of the show. And we've reviewed that arrest affidavit. This has been an ongoing investigation, I believe, since 2024. Give you guys an idea, okay? So give you guys an idea of what this is like. So when I read this, the title of this video is Timothy Busfield actor faces new abuse claims regarding 16-year-old. 16-year-old. All right, so let's get into this. Let me see if I can. Yeah, we going to transition real quick because I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. Here we go. So he was in court today. All right.
The Emmy Award-winning actor Timothy Busfield making his initial court appearance via Zoom in New Mexico on charges of child sex abuse. You can see him there in his orange jail jumpsuit. The judge ordered Busfield to remain in custody pending his next hearing in a few days. Prosecutors have filed a motion for Busfield to be held until trial. The 68-year-old turned himself in yesterday. He's accused of inappropriately touching twin brothers when they were 7 and 8 years old while on the set of a TV series that he directed. And now there is a new assault claim involving a 16-year-old girl. Busfield denies the allegations.
Now we have a new assault claim. A new assault claim. Hey, Franny Law, shout out to everybody regarding a 16-year-old, guys. This is like insane. So hold up, y'all. So, because I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all. And then, let's see if we can share this article over here. So, this is today, new SA allegations against Timothy Busfield disclosed in prosecution filing. So now we have new allegations that are being disclosed in a prosecution filing, right? Let's keep going. The actor and director is accused of groping a teenage girl who was auditioning for a Sacramento theater company he co-founded. Prosecutors in New Mexico have detailed a new allegation of SA against actor and director Timothy Busfield in a court filing Wednesday, today, mind you. The district attorney office accuses Busfield of groping a then 16-year-old girl when she was auditioning for a role several years ago at the B Street Theater in Sacramento, California. The exact year was not disclosed. He allegedly kissed her and put his hands down the area, pants, and then touched her area, okay? This is what the new filing says. Guys, this right here is similar to what happened to the 24-year-old who filed the lawsuit against him, I believe, back in, 96? Between 94 and 96, okay? Around that time, unless there's another one. Well, I want to be careful. So this is the same thing right here. There was an allegation that was very similar. Busfield is a co-founder of the theater company, and it's a former artistic excuse me, can't even read, and its former artistic director. He is listed as a board member on the company's website. The victim's father reported the incident to law enforcement on Tuesday. When Busfield turned himself into the authorities after he was charged with 2 counts of criminal as contact of a minor and 1 count of child abuse, according to the filing, the family agreed not to report the alleged assault to law enforcement after Busfield said he'd receive therapy. Get out of here. So he said, don't tell anybody, I'm going to get therapy. That's the deal that he made with the parents? You cannot make this ish up. Guys, I need you guys to stop for a minute and do me a favor, hit the like button, please. And thank you, because this is the kind of stuff that they try to suppress. What company, what no reports apparently. Please hit the like button because it'll get out there. Hold up. Let me put this out here real quick. Girl. How disgusting. Yeah. Let's keep going, okay? The family agreed not to report the alleged assault to law enforcement. Did the family get paid? Or what? Like they said, we won't say anything. As long as you get counseling? Did the family get paid too? I'm kind of curious. I have no words either. I'm wondering. Because typically when stuff like that happens, people tend to get paid. You know what I mean? How many is that? Well, so far, if you count, so there was a 17-year-old in 94, and then there was the 24-year-old in 2012. Now you have the twin boys, and now you have a 16-year-old here. That's the question. Let's keep going, okay? So is the 16-year-old lying too? You got the 2 twin boys, they're lying. Is the 16-year-old lying too? That's what I want to know. Let's keep going. The family agreed not to report the alleged assault to law enforcement after Busfield said he'd received therapy, prosecutors said. The allegation surfaced as part of the effort to keep Busfield detained in Albuquerque, where he is accused of abusing 2 boys on the set of former Fox and Warner Brothers television series, The Cleaning Lady. While he awaits trial, prosecutors moved for him to be held without bail. At his court appearance Wednesday afternoon, Busfield did not enter a plea on charges of criminal sexual contact with a minor and child abuse. In the statement, Larry Stein, a lawyer for Busfield, denied the allegations. As a voluntary step, he submitted to an independent polygraph examination regarding those allegations and passed. Yeah, because those are very reliable. I mean, the court uses them all the time. Now, law enforcement can use polygraph, right? But they're not really, like, they're not admissible. So take that for what it's worth, okay? And it further goes. Let's see. Polygraphs. He said in Wednesday's filing, prosecutors argue that Busfield posed an ongoing threat any child in his orbit. His conduct displays a calculated pattern of predatory conduct, they said, pointing to his alleged history of exploiting positions of power to gain access to minors across several decades. Let me say something real quick. This stands out to me. Let me tell you why. When the detective in that arrest affidavit, I said it earlier this morning, I said it yesterday, he said it, there's a sentence second to the last page that says something to the effect of that he tried to interview the other kids. He tried to contact, he was concerned that the Warner Brothers company and the lawyer weren't concerned about child essay or other exposure to other children that this man might have had with his behavior pattern. That's what's been said. So I don't know. Let's keep going. Further goes, Busfield has faced allegations of misconduct in one alleged incident in 94 with the 17-year-old, okay, an extra on Little Big League, which he directed and accused him of assault, alleging he served her alcohol, groped her, and attempted to initiate S in his trailer. Prosecutor said she was 17 years old. Okay. Reality check. Right. It further says, prosecutor said he later sued her lawyers for defamation. Excuse me. He later sued her lawyers for defamation, though he lost the case. In another 2012 incident, an adult woman alleged that he assaulted her in a Los Angeles movie theater. Busfield slipped his hand under her clothes and touched her area, similar to what the 16-year-old right here. This is exactly similar tactics, okay? Not that he slipped, but that he actually put his hands under, okay? Further goes that law enforcement ultimately did not pursue a criminal case due to slim evidence. Prosecutors say that Busfield's history of alleged S misconduct spanning more than 2 decades, coupled with the fear expressed by witnesses regarding retaliation and professional harm, illustrates how individuals in position of power are able to silence victims and witnesses, allowing abuse to persist and to go unchecked. Look, that's what the detectives say. He tried to talk to these Warner Brother people, all these employees, and they were so scared. They didn't even want to talk. They didn't want to say nothing. Okay? The alleged assault against the then 16-year-old at the B Street Theater in California occurred roughly 25 years ago, according to a source familiar with the situation. B Street Theater said in a statement Wednesday that Busfield is no longer involved with the theater company. B Street is aware of a report concerning Timothy Busfield regarding an incident alleged to have occurred at B Street Theater approximately 25 years ago. How many more? Oh my gosh, y'all. She was 16. Parents didn't want to report. He tells parents, I'm going to go take therapy. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Yeah. Okay. It further goes. B Street is aware of the report concerning Timothy Busfield regarding an incident 25 years ago. B Street retained legal counsel at the time to conduct an internal investigation. How do you conduct an internal investigation from like 25 years ago? Or was that then? Let me finish the sentence. B Street Theater retained legal counsel at the time. Oh, there you go. At the time to conduct an internal investigation. And Mr. Busfield has not had any role in the organization since 2001. He is not involved in our current operations, staff, leadership, or programming. Although he is listed as a board member, he has not participated in theater governance or attended a board meeting since that time. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by the abuse or exploitation in any form. So what did the internal investigation look like 25 years ago? And if they did an internal investigation 25 years ago, why didn't they report it to the police? Even though the parents said, don't do anything, we'll figure this out. In a video statement, of course, he denies all allegations. The Hollywood Reporter has asked lawyers for Busfield for comment. Also at issue, Busfield waiting until Tuesday to surrender, despite law enforcement issuing a warrant for his arrest on Friday. All right. Apparently, prosecutors say he traveled from New York to New Mexico to avoid the extradition process, in which they called a calculated decision to turn himself in on terms most convenient to him. Bitch, what? Because we got to make it convenient for people. Look, that's crazy work. Okay? Let's make it convenient for them. All right? Let's just... Because if it's a regular schmegular Joe, they would have dragged him and put him and extradited him and done everything that they needed to do. You're kidding me. Before surrendering, Busfield shared a TMZ video, which we've seen. This is what people have said. This conduct demonstrates a willingness to prioritize personal narrative control and public relations over compliance with lawful court processes. This is what the DA wrote. Her name is Savannah, is it Cook? In the motion. So January 14 at 2:30 p.m., there was an update to say that Busfield's first court appearance occurred. And then at about 4:18 p.m., there was an update to the statement of B Street Theater. So, I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments about this whole situation. Now, TMZ captured the court appearance. Let's get into this. I don't know if y'all can hear that. There's like no sound. I wonder if we can get his court appearance over here. Hold up, y'all.
Right. And Ms. Fairberg, had you had an opportunity to advise him before I called the case? I didn't know if you needed to call over to the podium first.
We've had an opportunity to confer. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Go ahead and get started. All right, we're on the record, FR 273-2026, State of New Mexico versus Timothy Busfield.
James Plummer for the state.
Amber Fairberg on behalf of Mr. Busfield, Your Honor, who appears in MDC custody.
Good afternoon. Mr. Busfield is set for felony first appearance this afternoon. Counsel, have you had an opportunity to advise your client?
Yes, I've had an opportunity to advise my client of the charges against him, the possible penalties, and his rights. He does not raise a probable cause challenge at this time as a result of the arrest warrant, and I understand, Your Honor, that the state has filed a motion for pretrial detention.
Thank you, counsel. That's correct. It looks like a probable cause was found on January the 9th at the time the warrant for Mr. Busfield's arrest was issued. And Mr. Busfield, the state has filed an expedited motion for pretrial detention in this case, sir. That means you will continue to be held without bond pending your hearing before the district court, sir. That hearing will take place within the next 5 business days. Your deadline for preliminary hearing is going to be January the 29th, sir. Was there anything further from counsel for defense for the state at this time?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That was it.
Thank you. We're off the record.
Mr. Busfield, come on.
They let him walk. So this was news to me too. While earlier today, that apparently cops raided upstate New York home of the West Wing star actor arrested for child SA. Okay, so his home was raided apparently, and let me see. So he was taken into custody 5 days after a warrant was issued for his arrest for criminal sexual misconduct of a minor and child abuse. According to the Associated Press, give me one second. According to the Associated Press, a criminal complaint accuses Busfield. We've read this. So shortly after Busfield surrendered, a squad of officers raided the actor's home nearly 2,000 miles away in the Catskills. This is his mugshot. Okay. That's crazy work. So these marshals were heavily armed. Okay. And they were assisted by the New Jersey Regional Fugitive Task Force. They were forced to open the door for Busfield's house in Highland Lake, which is like a quiet hamlet in Sullivan County on a private lake. Oh my God. So Highland Lake is about 15 minutes east of Pennsylvania border and 90 minutes southwest. And it further goes for photos and videos of the raid posted by the Daily Mail. So they did raid his house while he was in. It's like, why did you just turn yourself in when the warrant was there? I guess he didn't want to have anybody like looking at him all kinds of way or whatever. I'm wondering if we can have the actual hearing. I don't understand why we wouldn't be able to have the hearing full. Timothy Busfield. You know, yeah, the hearing is very short. This is crazy work, guys. I mean, it's a very short hearing, not very long. He's denying those allegations of the 16-year-old. Of course, I guess he's denying everything, everything. Everything is a lie. Let me see if I can show this one here.
Facing a judge today for the first time since being accused of child sex abuse charges in Albuquerque. Actor-director Timothy Busfield is also facing new allegations as prosecutors look to keep him behind bars. News 13's Bella Olage listened into Busfield's court hearing today. She joins us live in the Newsplex.
The hearing lasted just a few minutes for Timothy Busfield, making a first appearance before a judge in Bernalillo County Metro Court less than 2 hours ago.
State of New Mexico versus Timothy Busfield. And Mr. Busfield, the state has filed an expedited motion for pretrial detention in this case, sir. That means you will continue to be held without bond pending your hearing before the district court, sir.
The Bernalillo County District Attorney's Office filed that pretrial detention motion this morning, claiming Timothy Busfield is a danger to alleged victims and the community. He's facing a child abuse charge and 2 counts of criminal sexual contact of a minor. Busfield is accused of sexually abusing a child actor on the set of a TV show he directed in Albuquerque called The Cleaning Lady. Prosecutors want a judge to keep Busfield behind bars until trial, pointing to a pattern of sexual misconduct with allegations going back to the 90s. None of those prior cases ever led to criminal charges, but prosecutors are also detailing other new allegations from the last 2 years.
Crazy.
Including one from a California parent who called authorities yesterday to report alleged misconduct between their teenager and Busfield.
After 25 years, though. And like I said, I mean, I'm glad that the person called in to report, but after 25 years? So then the question that I have is, if he said to you he was going to go and get therapy, then my question is, did you get paid to keep the secret for this guy and think that he wasn't going to be doing other stuff? And again, he's going to defend himself, whatever it may be. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's like, come on now. You got 2 civil lawsuits. Now you got a 16-year-old. This is coming out now. So here's my question for the person that's now reporting something that happened 25 years ago. Did you get paid? That's what I want to know.
Prosecutors are also calling out Busfield for sending out this video responding to the allegations before turning himself in.
I'm going to confront these lies.
Crazy word.
They're horrible. They're all lies. And I did not do anything to those little boys. And I'm going to fight it.
The judge didn't make any decisions out of Busfield's first appearance today, other than to keep him in MDC until he can face a district court judge. Now, that judge will determine if Busfield will remain in jail while awaiting trial. Back to you.
Hi, Bella. Good information.
Well, I mean, thoughts? What do you guys think about Melissa so far? Did she know about this one 25 years ago? They've only been married for 12, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they tried to report before and nothing came out of it. Nobody followed up with it. Potentially. Oh, I don't know, man. Why no handcuffs? I don't know. That's a great question. I was a little surprised too. Thoughts? Sorry, y'all. He's been catching allegations for decades. Young women, including when Melissa, he got engaged. She got 2 boys. She's got 2 boys of her own. 2 boys of her own? I wonder. Hey, Sylvia, I just shouted you out. Shout out to Sylvia. She's the one that gave me the heads up on this one. She has bad luck with men. Wow, that's... I don't know, man. I think that this isn't anything that anybody... I don't know if she knew or what, or, you know, but... You know, you had the children. Now you have somebody like 25 years ago when they were a child. So it does make you wonder, well, what happened exactly? I mean, let me know. Shout out to Night Charm. You said, is this maybe why Netflix bought Warner Brothers? That's a good question. I don't know. And with the movie 25 years ago, or it wasn't a movie, it was a theater. It sounded like he was like the head or something at some point. This child was 16 and promised the parents that he would do therapy. And then that was okay with them. They just kind of let it go. I don't know. What about the women who stood by him and blamed parents of the twin? What about the women who stood by him? And who stood? I'm confused. What about the women who stood? The woman who stood by him? Who, Rachel? Who stood by him? I'm confused. I'm pretty sure, Vicky, that there was probably a lot of whispers and nobody said anything. But who are you talking about, Rachel? I'm so confused. Like, are you talking about Melissa? What about the woman who stood by and blamed the parents of the twin? Oh, Elodie? You talk about Elodie? The actress? The actress when she did that interview? I said no. Maybe. Yeah, you talk about Elodie. I was confused. I got you. Elodie Young gave a very interesting statement, right? And she didn't want to talk to law enforcement, but she gave a statement to the independent investigation at Warner Brothers. Elodie said that she overheard the mom saying that she was going to get back at Timothy. because they were going to fire her kids. You said, you mean to tell me that there's no whispers about activities in the industry? Yeah. I don't know. There's whispers. People just ignore them. Yeah. Her name is Ellen. Listen, I don't even know the name when I saw her name. Yeah. I agree. You said that's BS. Yeah. Elodie Young was the one who said, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she heard that. I don't know. I wasn't there. I believe she's aware of it. This is not the first, second, or third time. It's probably come up and she chooses to stick with him, right? Olga, well, again, they don't want retaliation. They want to keep their jobs. You know, that's what the detective said. These people are worried about retaliation. You think he's going to hire Alan Jackson? I mean, didn't Alan Jackson was with Weinstein. Wouldn't be the first time. If you have that kind of money, though, Alan Jackson kind of money, you know, unless you can fundraise, which I don't know about you guys, but he's not really like, people don't really know too much about this guy like that. Like, he's just, I don't know. But anyways, y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments. You said he can't afford AJ. He can't. Alan is available now. Well, you know, everybody needs a defense. What is the prison time for these offenses? That's a great question. I'm not really sure. Not for New Mexico. I don't know. She knows. Heck, she was president of the Actors Guild. Just like when we were talking about earlier. Like, is it possible that they saw his name and they kind of like flagged that, report? What decision are we waiting on? What do you mean, on the hearing? I think they're waiting on another hearing to occur. That's kind of where they're at. Y'all, let me know what you guys think. You said, I love that show. The twins were adorable. So sad. Oh, I never saw it. I don't know, man. Yeah. Oh, yes. And Kevin Spacey, I mean, he struggled financially. I think he still does. I heard that he was like, it could be wrong information, but that he was like homeless or something like that. I don't know. I've heard so many things about Kevin Spacey and his housing stuff. 90s was the first I've heard. 2012 was pretty public, and then they got engaged almost. Yeah, so they met in either they met or they got engaged in 2013. But there was the assault that happened in 2012 before they got married and together. So I bet she is. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a difficult position to be in, but now you have another allegation. Now you kind of have a pattern of behavior that's stretching many years. The problem that I have with this situation right here is that you're talking about 25 years ago and a 16-year-old child who this was reported to, and it sounds like B Street Theater had their internal investigation. What came out of that? I'm not really sure. Did they report to the police? Did anybody? Because what 25 years ago, what the parents of the 16-year-old told Busfield was that, he was going to get therapy for this. So I don't know, unless there was some kind of financial incentive. I just don't know what kind of parent. Well, let me stop, because I mean, that's a huge question. I feel like we have a lot of examples of parents that would be willing to sell their kids, and for hush hush money. That's the industry. Anything for them to make it. Yeah, 25 years ago. Shut your mouth and close the door. Really? The Alexis Treviso decision upcoming by February or March. Where did you hear this, First Liberties podcast? You guys have to tell me. Let me write this down. Where did you hear this? I've been waiting on this. Y'all, my channel, we've been waiting on this. Just to let you know, we've been waiting on this. Is this girl going to go to trial or what? Anyways, let me stop. Side note. I'm going to write a note about that. You said, he's not a major star, and he has several allegations spanning over decades from people that don't know each other. So that's for sure. Yeah. Okay. I'll check it out. Thank you. Man. Well, it's becoming a historic. I mean, he's not like it's not like an A-list actor, right? Not a lot of people know him like that. I certainly don't feel like I've watched a lot of his shows or anything at all. So yeah, I mean, I would say that sounds about right. Sounds about right. That would have to be a massive conspiracy if not true. You said, hold up. Let me see. But the thing is that, I mean, if this is his behavior, he's been able to be under the radar for quite some time, don't you think? Think about it. From like moving around different stuff. You said, yeah, 25 years ago, getting therapy was way more accepted than it would be today. That's right. Clearly, Shelley. True. True. Very true. So maybe just kind of how people saw SA. Well, the person just gets therapy and they address the issue. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, something don't sound right about that. And I'd like to know more. Did they finally file a police report after 25 years? I guess that's the question. Well, they talked to a prosecutor. And this happened in California. So New Mexico prosecutor introduced that information to the filing, to their complaint. But I'm like, how does that happen? How do they use that information from over here to there, unless there's more to this? You said, but Melissa Gilbert is the president. Not anymore, Red Ginger. Not anymore. She was the first, I think. So she's got some connections, but she's not the president anymore. I think it's somebody else now. You said, well, for children specifically, if you have somebody targeting children, 16, 17, I mean, that's a very specific age. And stuff like that, like therapy for people that are targeting children, 11 years old. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about somebody who's really sick. Okay. And it's not like the first child. There's other children. Okay. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. Yeah, it's not good. He said, the new president, yeah, it's a male actor, so she's not the president anymore. Let's see. But it's the promise of therapy that gets to me, honestly. Yeah, you can't cure this. You cannot cure this. There's been modalities out there that treat certain things and stuff like that, but that specific thing, this need for is because your victims are children, you can't cure that. There's things that you can do to treat, but you can't cure it, and it's something that just doesn't go away. That's right. Yeah, so let's see. Look at this. State courts have long-arm jurisdictions. This is 4 elements of a crime taking place outside of the state. Ashley Buzzard case, gotcha, as an example. You said maybe he got help from the women addiction issues and then moved on to young boys allegedly. I don't know, man. But apparently I'm sure that they wanted to keep this investigation under wraps, given that a lot of this happened while on the set at Warner Brothers. Somebody's in trouble, clearly. There's a lot of people in trouble, but the 11-year-old boy is being alleged that this was happening on the set of Warner Brothers while they were working. So children were being hurt, not adequately supervised while people were working and doing different jobs on the set. And matter of fact, during the interview that these detectives were doing, he interviewed, a producer, and she even talked about the fact that there was a teacher that they had hired to keep an eye out on these boys, and the teacher wasn't keeping an eye out on these boys. So there was, as far as opportunity, for these boys to have been hurt. So there's that. You said, so what it seems like is there must have been an investigation going on. Yeah. Yes, that's right. I did. I read the report. I read the affidavit, which includes that investigation. I did that video. Was it on Monday? Make sure you guys go check it out. It's under Not Live's video, and you guys will hear the whole arrest. We read it. You'll hear all the events. You're right. And so there was already an investigation by a third party, not by police. Warner Brothers had hired a third party to do an internal investigation because there was a complaint that came in. But the boys, specifically, parents went to an attorney, and attorney said, go to the hospital, and they did an assessment on the boys. And from there, it was determined that they were groomed. And then the boys one of them got therapy. And then in therapy, the boy made a lot of disclosures about SA and different things and whatnot. So, yeah, that's what happened. You said, let's see. I keep wondering why and I thought, I was like, I don't know, maybe he drove because, it was, I guess that is a good question. I mean, if you're able to fly, why would you drive? But I think you're flagged. Like, you can't fly if you're flagged, right? If they're coming for you, you can't. I think they'll flag you, right? Like, even from state to state, you can't even fly out. So that's why he decided to drive. Which I was like, well, why not just coordinate for them to pick you up so that way you didn't have to do all this? But I guess he didn't want like the media thing and stuff like that. But yeah, yes, in the assessment, they did an assessment at the hospital. The first time that they saw the boys, there was an assessment that they did. I forgot the name of the assessment. It's an assessment that New Mexico does. And from the assessment, they determined that the children were groomed. From that, nothing came out of that. But then one of the boys went to therapy and he made disclosures there. And then he was also wetting the bed. And so it kind of trickled and got bigger from there. That's what happened. You said he would have been, yes, I thought he would have been arrested. So he's like, well, let me stop that and let me just travel over there, drive over there. He kept it hush hush for a long time. He did. A lot of people did, for sure. Yeah, the feds would go right in the file. So he probably wouldn't have been able to fly even nationally. Like, that's why he decided to drive. He didn't want that kind of media coverage and just said, I'm just going to turn myself in. Look, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think you always know who you marry, man. You just got to be careful. This is, if there's another one, I mean, you have a historic pattern now at this point. You have people that are coming out, sounds like certain things, at least that one from 25 years ago was investigated, right? So somebody looked into something back then. What came out of that? I'm not really sure. So keep that in mind. I don't know, y'all. But let me know. Just wanted to give us quick little news and get your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. We'll probably talk about more about this tomorrow. But like I said, it's very likely if there's been a pattern, it's very likely not the first victim. There's probably more out there. I'm sorry. We've all lived through this. We've seen patterns. One comes, the other one comes. And again, he has the right to defend himself. I'm sure he will. Whatever that looks like. And, Melissa is standing by her man. That's what she's going to do. Okay. Y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments. Oh my God, you guys. What did you say? Yeah, he kept it hush hush. Right. You said free ride or on Con Air. Well, there you go. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hit the like button. Bye, guys.